It is very, very inspiring for me to be here today in front of many feminists, women activists, and fellow change makers. I will speak on a critical theme of our collective work, on the issue of accountability. Accountability not only to ourselves, but to the communities we serve, to the struggles we commit to, and to the future that we envision. So, what do we want?
Justice.
Okay, what is our vision of genuine reform and systemic change? What future do we want? And more importantly, what are we fighting for? I think one, we are fighting for recognition of people's rights. At the core of our demands is the recognition of all people's rights. Human rights are not privileges. They are inherent to all of us. Whether it is the right to land, self-determination, freedom from violence, or economic justice, we demand that all people, especially the marginalized and vulnerable, the oppressed classes, be afforded these rights. Two, freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from imperialism, freedom from patriarchy, freedom from feudalism. These are the systems that oppress us, and they must be dismantled. These structures are the root of inequality and injustice. And as feminists and as women, we must lead the charge in fighting for our collective liberation. Three, justice for victims. For those who have suffered from these systems of oppression, justice is non-negotiable. It cannot be negotiated. Justice must be given. Whether it is justice for victims of state oppression, victims of gender violence, or environmental destruction, we demand accountability from the states, those who are in power, those who are duty bearers, to respect and promote these rights, to respect and promote people's rights. Four, equality and equity. Our future must be one where equality is not just an abstract concept, not only in our minds, but it must be a lived reality. We want systems that work for all, not just for the privileged few. And last but not the least, number five, land and self-determination. For indigenous peoples like me, in particular, we have long been denied our right to land and self-determination. This is not just a matter of rights. It is about our survival. Without land, there can be no future for indigenous communities, and without land, there can be no future for all. I hope that in our struggles, we are able to put the issue of land and self-determination as central theme in our movements. As we oppose imperialism, patriarchy, and feudalism, we must also forward our alternative. We don't just simply protest. We must forward an alternative. And the only alternative that I know, and I forward all of you, the only alternative that we should fight for is a socialist future. We want people's rights. We want freedom. We want justice. We want equality, equity, land and self-determination, and we want it now. All these, what I have mentioned, define the bright socialist future that we want. Yesterday, in the discussion of where we are, we saw that we live in a time of compounding crisis, all interlinked, and affecting every aspect of our lives. Globally, the economic crisis deepens with rising unemployment, rising cost of living, and inaccessible services. Women, indigenous peoples, and migrants face the harshest impacts, trapped in a cycle of poverty and exploitation. The political crisis worsens with intensifying repression and xenophobia. Migrants, women, people of color, minorities face growing violence. Social movements and activists are increasingly targeted as terrorists or enemies of the state. We are also in a cultural crisis where patriarchy, feudalism, and feudal attitudes persist. reinforcing discrimination and violence. Women, LGBTQI individuals, indigenous peoples, and other marginalized groups face heightened barriers, silenced by entrenched oppression. And last, we all know that the climate crisis, now a climate emergency, being downplayed by capital states who are responsible for much of this destruction, continue exploiting resources, and they continue to resist change, threatening our lives, our future, and the planet's survival. So how do we achieve? If that is the future that we want, that is the current situation that we are in, how do we achieve the future that we want? We know from yesterday that change that does not come easily. It does not fall from the sky. It will not be handed to us on a silver platter. We cannot rely on politicians or those who are in power to make changes, isn't it? Instead, we must fight. We must build the future ourselves in a society controlled by the few ruling classes of landlords and the capitalist elite. Repression is their tool of choice, but repression only should heighten our resolve. For my advocacy, as mentioned by Nalini, the Philippine government has tagged me as anti-development, has named me as a criminal, and now I am a terrorist. Many like me are in jail, and worse, have been killed or disappeared. And I know that I share this situation with many of you here. Who among you has been called a terrorist? Who among you? Only a few? Who among you has been called a terrorist? Raise your hands. This is a safe space. No? I know that we are not terrorists. We are not criminals. We are women, we are feminists, and we are women freedom fighters. The real terrorists are the imperialists and the local reactionary forces. It is not us. We have to fight for the future that we want. We take inspiration from the liberation movements, many of which are in our regions of Asia and Pacific, many of which not only involved but are led by women feminist fighters. West Papua defines racism by raising the Morning Star flag and shouting, "Merdeka, West Papua." But they are not alone. The Blue Pacific is rising together in Vanuatu, Tanaki, Solomon Islands, Bougainville, and many other island states. Asia is also home to many independence movements, like in the Philippines, Burma, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and we look forward to a rising and growing movements in East and Central Asia. Our enemies are strong and well established. We do not doubt that. They shall use every brutal and deceptive tactic to break us. Thus, we need to, first, arouse. We must educate and build capacities within our communities, sectors, schools, and places of work. This means deepening our understanding of people's rights and the roots of the crisis we are facing. Without knowledge and consciousness raising, we cannot hope to challenge the structures that oppress us. Organize. The next step is to build organizations within our communities. Strong grassroots organizations are the backbone of any movement for change. We must work with and for our communities, forming networks of solidarity that extend beyond our borders. Third, mobilize. Education and organization must translate into action. Direct actions, protests, and campaigns expose violations of people's rights and hold oppressors accountable. Collective action is our greatest weapon against the forms of oppression. And last, international solidarity. Our struggles are interconnected. We must continue to forge international solidarity, recognizing that the fight for liberation is global. Whether we are fighting for labor rights in Bangladesh, racial injustice in Thailand, or indigenous people's rights in the Philippines, our struggles are united by a common goal, which is freedom. So, I ask, to whom are we accountable then? In this fight, we must always ask the question, to whom are we accountable? We are accountable to our mass constituency, the people who have been marginalized, the people who have been killed and silenced, the people who have been oppressed. They are the ones who should ultimately benefit from the reforms and systemic changes we fight for. We are not here to serve ourselves, definitely, or cater to the interests of the elite. Are we here to serve the interests of the elite? No, of course. We are here to serve the people, uplift their voices, and ensure that we build a bright socialist future where everyone can thrive. Accountability is not just a word. It is a responsibility, a commitment to the people we serve. It is about staying true to our principles. It is about fighting for justice and never losing sight of the future we want. As feminists, as women, we must continue to push for genuine reforms, systemic change, and accountability, primarily from the states and primarily for those who are in power. Today, let us also honor our martyrs and live out the legacy of our heroes. We must resist. We must continue resisting. Our struggles are both just and legitimate. In the face of escalating violence, the right to rebel becomes not only justified, but necessary. We are not terrorists. So together, everyone stand up. Together, everyone stand up. Let us continue the fight for liberation, justice, and equality. Let us dare to struggle and dare to win, because yes, a bright socialist future is possible. Ahay! Ahay!